Testing 1, 2, 3. Warning, the following video may contain adult language and themes. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you have a problem with this, stop playing this video now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You had your chance to back out. No turning back now. Andy Ruiz would beat Wladimir Klitschko in an eating contest. That's what he'd beat him in, okay? This guy, oh, God. Andy Ruiz is an up-and-coming heavyweight prospect. I think he's Mexican. What is he known for? He's known for being extremely fat. And I listened to other boxing commentators, and one of the commentators I listen to a lot is Dwyer, and he was championing boxers, holding up boxers like Solis and Andy Ruiz, and didn't care that they were fat. I'm here to tell you that that's a big deal. That is a problem against Klitschko, especially since Andy Ruiz is so short. I think on his BoxRec page, he claims to be about 6'2". Let me see. He claims to be about 6'2". But I think that's bullshit, though. Boxers, in some instances, tend to inflate their heights. I don't know why exactly they do that. This isn't professional wrestling. There isn't a build height and an actual height, please. Because recently, Andy Ruiz fought Tor Hamer, and Tor Hamer is 6'2", and it looked like Tor Hamer was a little bit taller than Andy Ruiz. So I would say Andy Ruiz is probably somewhere around 6 to 6'1", which is a big problem. If you're short and fat against Wladimir, that's a big problem. Another thing he's known for is having fast hands, and I still say big deal. I don't think that's going to make a difference because he's so short and he's so fat. He may have fast hands, but he's not going to be able to reach Klitschko, okay, for that to become a factor. I don't think he has very fast foot speed, though, which would make a difference, because that would make it so his fast hand speed would make a difference, but I don't think he has, even if he did have fast enough feet, I don't think he'd have to have ridiculously fast feet to get to close the distance between Klitschko. The reason why Klitschko is so hard to take out is because he maintains a distance, and even if you get past that distance, he's like a master holder, okay? And the fact that Andy Ruiz is so fat, it's going to be even worse when he has a 240-plus pound Ukrainian giving a piggyback to a 240-pound plus Ukrainian, which is what's going to end up happening, like Povetkin found out. It's just going to sap Andy Ruiz dry. Not to mention, Andy Ruiz looked horrible in his recent fight with Tor Hamer, which I think Tor Hamer was just there to collect a payday. I don't think it was in the stars. I think he knew he was there to lose the fight. Tor Hamer is just not an attractive prospect anymore, not like Andy Ruiz is. I think Tor Hamer could have beat Andy Ruiz if he'd gone for broke, but he obviously wasn't willing to do that. I think he's a college graduate, so he's obviously probably thinking past boxing, probably thinking about what he's going to do with the rest of his life, with his college degree and stuff. So I don't think Tor Hamer was even there to be a serious challenge, and even then he was a serious challenge to Andy Ruiz, who was getting caught flush. Are you telling me if Tor Hamer can land on you, Wladimir Klitschko can land on you? And let me tell you something, Wladimir Klitschko landing on you is a whole nother story compared to Tor Hamer. I don't care how good Ruiz's chin is. Wladimir Klitschko is going to crack it, So, and like I said, Wladimir Klitschko is going to be leaning all over Andy Ruiz, and Andy Ruiz is going to get slower as the rounds progress. And the only chance Andy Ruiz is going to have against Wladimir Klitschko is a puncher's chance. The longer it goes, the worse it's going to be. Not to mention, if Andy Ruiz fights Wladimir Klitschko in Wladimir Klitschko's backyard, which he probably will if he gets a shot, since Wladimir Klitschko has all the bargaining chips. I just don't see him beating Wladimir. And let me put it this way: Andy Ruiz may pick up one of the WBC or WBA belt. I mean, the WBC or regular WBA belts. But come on, that's so paperish. Even if you pick up the WBC belt at this point, it's paperish because you haven't really beaten the champion to get it. When we say who's going to be the next big champion. What we're really asking is who's going to kick the crap out of a Klitschko. That's what we're asking. If you scoop up a WBC belt, a vacant WBC belt, or a vacant WBA regular belt, that Povetkin crapped out, it's not really, you're not really a champion, Technically you are, but in our eyes, as a true boxing fan, you shouldn't look at that as a champion. Ruiz is just not going to pose a problem to Wladimir. He may pose problems to people like Deontay Wilder and other, underlings of the Klitschkos, people beneath the Klitschkos, He may pose a problem to them, but I just don't see him beating Wladimir, aside from some sort of lucky punch, or Wladimir showing up to the bout drunk off his ass or something. That's the only way I see Andy Ruiz beating the Klitschko. Yeah, I'm just not impressed with him at all. I just don't think short fighters stand a chance against Wladimir in general. Not with what he gets away with the amount of clinching, the amount of holding, him measuring his opponent and pushing them away with a jab so you can't even get close to him. That, if a tall fighter fights a shorter fighter and the tall fighter is allowed to keep his arm out as a bar, there's no way you can get close to him. There's no way you can get past that, because he'll just keep, it's like a broomstick. It's like, have you ever seen those lions who, when one of those zookeepers handles a lion and they have those really long poles and they keep the lion on the end of the pole? That's basically what Wladimir does. You can't get to him because his arm's in the way. And it's not a jab. It's literally a bar he holds out there for several seconds, that you can't get past because it's in between you two. I just don't see Andy Ruiz beating Wladimir Klitschko aside from in a eating contest. Other than that, okay, let me put it this way. Maybe if Andy Ruiz loses a shitload of pounds and grows about a couple inches. Because as we've seen, Alexander Povetkin, Povetkin's a lot like Andy Ruiz in my opinion. Just not as fat. And even then in that situation, maybe he doesn't have as fast of hands, but he's pretty much the same type of fighter as Andy Ruiz. He's short, he's a slugger, he needs to get in close to hit you. And even then, with all that weight difference, he still couldn't beat Wladimir Klitschko. Yeah, in my opinion, a tall fighter is going to take out Klitschko. A tall, fast, powerful fighter. Like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis would have been the perfect guy to take out Wladimir Klitschko. Anyway, that's my rant on Andy Ruiz Jr. His recent fight was just a farce. He shouldn't have won. The guy pretty much threw in the towel. He had no heart. So, Andy Ruiz's heart is probably pumping like crazy to support all that blubber, which will not help when he's got to fight someone like Wladimir Klitschko, who will be on his ass for 12 rounds and will not throw in the towel like Thor Hammer. Okay, thank you, bye.